You're right.
Is that it?
That's it.
You're
So
rolling.
we're now in Patamahoe.
Oh, wait. I gotta. Wait. Roll your window up.
It isn't.
Should we have it? It is? Why? Oh.
Do you want me to close that down?
Yeah, we might need the sound attenuation. And then what I found last time, you have to go. Oh, wait. Now the sound is, I can find the start of it now. I need a clapper. You know, where you go, and then, yeah, right.
A little thing on the soundboard saying, we are now talking to.
Well, now I can sync up the audio with the video.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the idea.
You need
it's
to
not
play
plugged in. What town are we in?
We are actually in Patamahoe.
Patamahoe.
Patamahoe. And we're just going to make
We're
our
going to
way.
go past the Patamahoe post office.
It was the post office, now a pub.
And this is not TechInTeslas, even though there's one there and there's one there and there's one over there.
Place.
This is RevitInRenaults.
RevitInRenaults.
Renault.
Renault. Sounds good.
Because that's what Kerry drives, a speedy little orange car. So we've just come into town after having a look around your home village.
Home village of Malku. We're going to go back through Malku, make our way across to Glenbrook, and then across to Waiuku, and then out to the west coast.
And that's where I almost got hit by a car.
And that's where you almost got done.
If you hadn't said stop, I would have just kept walking, and but I would have had a nice breakfast.
Could be on your roaster.
Yeah.
Nice breakfast.
Had a really nice breakfast.
That was it.
Was it?
That was it. So all this is like all houses.
I should I guess I could use this because I can splice this in later if it takes a video.
Yep.
Going the other way.
Yep.
And this is just old farmland that's turning into houses, and there you go.
Onions, we've got lots of onions around here. Church.
Love these old. Yeah, that was an old church, you said.
So we're just coming through into Plateau, Malku. Sort of just farmland, really.
Old farmland.
Market gardening.
Had the most uneventful tour of someone's childhood stomping ground ever.
Really?
I tried to get a little bit of scandalous information out of Kerry.
Yeah.
And the most scandalous information I got was you try to sort out the septic system by putting a lemon at the end of it. And it backed it up, which wasn't very popular at the moment.
So considering we didn't have one beforehand, had to go back to the bucket. Not good.
How did that lemon get in the bottom of the septic field?
I don't know, Dad.
No idea. No.
Well, you know, somebody must put it in there. Well, not sure.
Here's the rail line.
But this is kind of where it works. But I'm not sure about it.
You were still trying to figure out technology back in the day.
Wasn't my first gadget, but it was a go.
No. A lemon in the bottom of the dunny field.
Well, the lemon septic tank was about 12 foot by 12 foot by 12 foot. I remember digging it, it was massive.
Right.
So it never kind of overflowed.
No, not with 5 people.
No. I did a little bit, but just didn't worry about it.
And you had 400 dairy cow.
100.
100
acre farm.
Oh, 100 acres, so that would support them.
Dairy farm. Look.
Yeah, I should.
There we go.
That's your school.
That's school.
Well, that's where you play tennis.
That's where we play tennis. It's the tennis club.
Where's the school? Did we just pass it? Oh,
We went past it.
that was it. And you walked or rode your bike.
I used to walk along here to school. Just about got killed along here.
Really?
Oh yeah. It was on a bicycle, I went across the road. Truck just missed
Coming
by
over here.
inches.
Yeah.
So you either survived or you didn't.
Yeah, we even went up to the old Anglican church.
Yep.
And had a look through the cemetery there. It's a historic building.
Yep, historic place. It's got musket slots on the side of it. So when they had the wars in about the 1860s, the Maryland Wars,
Yep.
settlers used to go to the church and fortify themselves in the church, and the slots on the side would be where they stuck the muskets out, defensiveness. So, yeah, very historic, quite old place.
Had a look at where your mum and your dad are interred.
Yes,
Dad kept driving till he was 95.
he did. And he said, well, it's a bit of a blow.
Because you took his keys away.
Took his keys away. It's a bit of a blow. He's pretty lucid right through to the end, so
Yeah.
he wasn't a happy boy to go, that's for sure.
Bit of a fight. That's
Bit of a
good.
fight. Oh yeah, he was stay right to the end type of guy. So this is the TT corner. So there was a great big battle up here, Battle of TT, and there's a little memorial plaque that talks about. So that way is Puni, and this way we're going to a place called Glenbrook.
So this area, we just had breakfast in the old butchery that was built turn of 1900.
Yep.
Then it burnt down, and they put it back in 1925.
Yep. And we've had cattle butchered there when I was a kid.
I took a photo from across the street just before I got almost hit. Put that photo in.
Yep. So that's looking back across to the agricultural stuff. And there's a little plaque along here which commemorates the Battle of TT.
Right in here.
That's right there. Murray War stuff.
Yeah.
So
We tried to do a couple of these last year, and then they got eaten by Twitter.
I know.
So I don't know what happened. One day I looked them up to try to download them, and they were gone. So
way some of this goes.
I don't think we'll rescue any turtles today, like we did the last
No
time.
turtles here.
No turtles,
No
no
turtles.
rattlesnakes, no bears,
No.
no foxes.
All introduced stuff. There's nothing naturally in New Zealand there.
Any
That's
things that would
pretty
eat
good.
you in New Zealand, there's not even any saltwater crocs.
No, nothing. Heavy
The
eels.
geography will get you,
Yep.
but not the wild animals.
No wild animals. So yeah. It's the first architecturally designed house I ever knew about was there.
All right, little mid-century modern with a
Yeah.
sloping roof.
The family that lived there got an architect to design the house, and that was very, very unusual for the time. Because we just
What would you do otherwise? Just have a builder come and he'd have
Just
he'd
have
have a book. And,
off a book plan, yeah. This is a Glenbrook Vintage Railway. So we have steam trains.
Right.
So, yeah, you can actually go for an excursion.
They've got a selection of trains.
They have indeed.
Where are all the trains at? Who doesn't love trains?
Listen to trains. So this is a major railway to the steam.
Oh, is that the old station that you
That's
talked about?
it's an old station.
Well, that's awesome. So when you were growing up, you'd mentioned they had passenger trains, and
Not sure how you get it to the place.
so did they relocate the station from where it was?
Go and have a look.
Going on an adventure. Someone's behind you.
Thank you. Nobody there?
Just to slip in a little Lord of the Rings.
It's a Lord of the Rings stuff.
Have you not seen the Lord of the Rings? You've seen the movies. Oh, God.
Yeah, we have multiple copies on the bench at home.
Yeah.
My kids are free to get right into it. Or were when they were kids. Not sure this place is open.
Don't ask me. I almost made a mess of it. So was this actually where the station was, or was this relocated from town?
No, it's where the station was.
Did you ever take the train to Auckland?
No, it was well before my time. They cancelled. But they run excursions here, and there are steam trains here. And halfway along the railway line, there is a workshop where they maintain them.
So if they're restoring them and things.
Yeah, it's all closed down for the summer.
Is it a circuit or a one way?
It's a one way, goes through to Waiuku and then back through.
And then it comes back.
Yeah.
I'd say people live there. There's gumboots on the porch. This is awesome. Oh, look at that at the end.
Yeah.
This little working. It's a tiny house,
On wheels.
as it should be. That's how they get around the code. Because you can't have a house under a certain size, but if it's
Well, this
on wheels,
spur used to go to Waiuku, which had a dairy factory,
right?
which was why it was justified in the 1920s. And then when they
To put the line in.
yeah, and then when the new steel mill came in line, they put a spur out to put the coal, bring the steel back out,
Which is still in operation.
which is still in operation. And there are also a lot of power pylons put in to power the furnaces. So they do all of that.
Well, I'm in favor of keeping this.
Yeah, it's
Bit of
great.
history.
It's an excursion. It's not operational today, though. They obviously have a season. It's
I'll
operating.
just take a photo of this. Oh, no. Do that. That's great. So this was the pedestrian train. There was a train you said that went to Auckland.
There was a train
Mostly
that used
for
to be.
commercial,
There's a
but they also have-
timetable, 1926. I remember when I was a kid. At Mauku, which was a station along this line, and you could get a train to and back. I guess
And does that line still go to Auckland?
it's still connected to Auckland. Yeah,
Right.
You
But
go
it's
through.
only for commercial traffic.
It's only for industrial steel mill type work now. So yeah.
I don't know. Why wouldn't they do an excursion from Auckland to up here?
Well, they do every so often with steam trains. They bring a steam train. They'll do
From
an excursion from Auckland through to here and back up again. So it'll go up that, we are farmers. We have that
Yeah.
railway line. So
Does
there'll
this
be-
line go through town?
Yeah, that'll go to Britomart if you.
Okay.
If
No,
they
I mean
get
the
it
town we were
organised.
just in.
Yeah.
Does it cross the little village we were just in somewhere? Or this is as close as you get.
No, it does. Well, Patamahoe, it kind of skims around and slow.
Okay. So what's interesting in the technology space? What have you been working on?
What have I been playing around with?
Yeah.
Quite a lot of mucking around with AI stuff, just generally. Using it to try and make things more efficient. I'm just curious about aspects of what different things can do. A little bit playing with the imagery, but more in terms of maybe helping you do the actual functional stuff of what you do as an architect or a designer, I guess. In terms of writing things, that type of thing. Also interested in how it can program, like you can write Lisp programs with it.
I'll ask it for things and have it full.
Well-
Do you have to clean it up afterwards, or do you find it's pretty good?
That's pretty good. You have to know what to look for, but it'll do like the 80% hit, 20% fire. And I think a lot of it's like that. That it takes the heavy weight.
It'll get close.
Yeah, it takes the heavy lifting out of it. You can do the refinement. And I think that's happening across a whole range of things. There are a lot of them though. I mean, you have ChatGPT, you also got this DeepSeek thing coming through, which is interesting.
What was the one that just showed up 2 weeks ago? And it's
That was the Chinese one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DeepSeek.
And it's quite, I found it really kind of somehow thinking the way I think. If that's the thing, I'm not sure.
You mean in the way you have to ask for something to get something that's predictable?
Yeah, but it also went and showed its workings.
Oh, okay.
So it actually says, well, we start here, we do this, we look at this, we went over here, we did that, and so on. And then comes to a conclusion, which
But it
shows exposes the
process.
process. It doesn't just say this is the answer. So if you want to get some idea of what's going on, use some level of refinement in terms of the way it comes through. And if you know generally about something, you can actually follow that quite specifically and just feels a bit more confident maybe in the result. But
It doesn't seem to do images at the moment.
It does little images apparently,
Right.
but I haven't played very much with that. I've used the magnific one to take renderings and Enscape, and then I'd compute them out.
Or upsampling,
or even like there's one thing here where you have grass for example, of quite a wide view, and it'll actually add the detail in there really easily, or it'll which is quite useful. Or if you've got a piece of vegetation which renders out as a blob, it'll actually put the leaves and branches on it, which is cool. But then it was also confusing some trees and turning them into little houses, so it's a bit of hallucination happening there. So, it's kind of early days in many ways. But kind of what I'd like it to start doing is starting to resolve things like go and do the macro stuff that you want to look at, and then it maybe starts to help you with the detailing and the actual resolution of the stuff in detail. Because I think you can get the overall images running well and the concepts, that's universal. I mean, you look at a lot of the stuff that's been produced out there, it's all kind of macro type scale stuff is what we do.
Right, broad exteriors, and even middle, like what I call MIDI scale stuff, The micro's still got a lot to go, a lot of ways to go. You still have to know, for example, how to detail something to allow it to resolve it to something that somebody can build. But a lot of the discussion about it is at that macro level. People don't seem to talk about the micro very much.
Yeah, that last mile is tricky.
And that takes a lot of effort too. This is why, okay.
Oh, this is a little bit bigger of a town.
Yeah.
So there's still no Starbucks, although they have sushi.
No Starbucks, sorry.
No.
No Starbucks.
It's that way.
Telephone exchange.
Do these towns not have theaters at the time?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, there's a theatre. I remember seeing something with my dad here.
A movie.
Maybe it was that boxy building up there was where we went.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like, right. These guys go quickly, don't they?
This town needs a traffic light.
Well, something like that. It's changed a bit since I was here. Been pedestrianised.
Real estate offices.
Yep.
Oh, there you go, your subway. Okay.
The subway. There we go. Phil will be happy.
Yeah, sure.
Subway, yeah.
Yeah.
Can breathe a sigh.
You have your chain restaurants here. But look, there's a builder store. There's
New World. They have a high school here, primary school, intermediate school.
right.
I'm just driving by nose at the moment. So I can't remember. It's changed since I...
To the steel mill.
No, this is to Kariotahi, which is the West Coast beach.
To the west.
Look at the steel mill coming back.
So AI for iteration.
Yeah. I'm very much
writing code.
Yeah. Also refining processes to do things to try and get my computers to work as hard as possible without work very closely on the process, and it's repeatable. Even when you model things, for example, you've got to make a call whether it's easier to draw it or to model it and then get the drawings driven out of that. But it really depends on whether the client's going to change things. If they change their mind,
then you got to redraw.
then it's worth modelling it. If they don't change their mind, it's one shot and it's done. The effort to model it is often doesn't stack up. So a lot of that's the way I work anyway. It's a Kariotahi road.
Yeah, that's kind of the unintended consequence of being able to change things a little easier, is that things change and then you have to, the time you would have gained by using a more efficient tool gets used up.
Yep.
doing what the tool allows efficiency for. So 40-hour week is still your 40-hour week.
Yeah. So a lot of my projects are repeatable projects. We build up workflow frameworks, and you can apply it across a range of things. Like we generate websites out of Revit files for one client, but we use the same machinery across 12 of them. So they are specific results from their point of view, but the engineering or the machinery processes underneath are the same in all cases. So it becomes a repeatable thing. And something that would be manually would take, 5 people 3 months to do, you can flick through in a week because you can just apply the same processes to it. But it's quite specialised in terms of the focus. But that's kind of the way it's.
Yeah, but I'll have to put the links up. You'll have to send me the links because a lot of it's for tradesmen and builders that are using particular products to assemble, and they need instructions that are clear with how the products get used, and that's one of the things that you're involved in, is explaining the instructability.
Well, in New Zealand, a lot of it's done with PDFs and drawings. We still basically do sticks, glass support construction. One of the big problems, I think as well with BIM is getting the link from the BIM model into the actual construction process.
Right.
You actually drive the production on site. Like with the CNC system, there's a direct link between the model you build and the 3D printer or whatever it happens to be, CNC machine that built it. Those links in architecture are not there yet. They will be at some stage, but probably not the time. So, but coming back to the New Zealand situation, most of my work is about producing two-dimensional drafting views so that people can get permits and consents to carry out the work, because the councils only can read PDFs. They don't have anything to read three-dimensional models. They have no idea what to do with them. So a lot of it's about the sophistication of your audience as well. So you can, for example, build a Revit family that does all kinds of things, but you might have 5 people that use it. In our market, in the States, you might have 50,000 who use it because you're 330 million, whereas we're only 5
or 6.
So that constrains what you put your effort in if you want to actually spend effort building that type of thing.
And if the council's just going to review it in 2 dimensions.
Yeah. But not only that, it's just that's what they expect. They just don't have the sophistication or the need, or even relate to the complexity of it. Some of it's really complex, but as a result, though, we get complex projects that have multiple BIM models that don't talk to each other and turn into a real mess. And I think that's not
in terms of federation. They're just a lot of separate pieces that come together.
Well, that project I was involved in, the Cloak Hotel International Airport, they had like 5 consultants involved with it, and they had Tekla, Revit, some AutoCAD, didn't really matter. I think between all the disciplines involved, there were 7 different data points on the file. So the first challenge was how you actually get those overlays to work in such a way as they relate to each other. It's like herding cats, and that's clearly not unusual. A lot of them I have been involved in probably well, so less involved in projects than I used to. But, so that type of global thinking, that federational thinking, is difficult unless you've got everybody on board that's thinking the same way and can agree on things in terms of the way they work, which is all really about relationships. Relationships are not necessarily built on having the right technology. They are built because I had a good engineering experience with my project 2 years ago, so we'll get you back on board.
Right.
But, are you still using Revit 2015? Oh, well, just whatever it is. We just have to worry about that when we get there. So that's part of the problem. This is the road out to this west coast beach called Kerry.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Kerry. Used to be a metal road. actually go flying off those.
Look at that. All the way down to the coast. Beautiful.
Used to come out here when the kids go fishing off the beach. But see, it's not too far away from the farms.
Nah. Is that just a tramper's track on top? What is that? Like, does it just keep the sheep in and let the people cross?
Seems to be some type of squirrel cam sometimes.
Looks like they're trying to reestablish native planting
Yep.
in the hillside.
Yep. Well, they had problems with the sand moving around. So here we have the Tasman Sea in front. It's kind of like 2,000 miles to Australia.
That's all.
Something like that. It's not swimmable, really.
Look at that wave. Looks like a beautiful bit of surf.
Yep.
Oh, there's a few out there too.
Yep. It's all black sand, which is iron sand.
So that's what you're talking about, where the sand has high iron ore content.
Yep. And it's come out of volcanism further down the coast. There's Mount Egmont, Mount Taranaki. And a lot of the sand came out of, I think, out of that one. I'm not sure about that specifically. But,
So you have a walk.
we'll have a walk. We have a
There's your surf club.
surf club. People get into trouble here. There's holes in the beach.
Oh yeah.
Typical things happening
Look at that.
here. Pretty cool.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, I lose it.